Hey, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 different ways to start an LLC in California. But more important than that, I'm going to share crucial information that will help keep your new business safe and protected. So if you are not familiar with terms such as commingling funds, piercing the corporate veil, or registered agent, don't worry because I'm going to go through it all, but just know these terms are really important and you're going to understand how it's going to impact your LLC by the end of this video. The first way to start your LLC in California is to go to the California Secretary of State website. You can find a link for the state site and any resources mentioned in the description below. And once you create an account, you can go through the steps there to get your LLC set up. As you'd expect, the state website is not the prettiest or the easiest thing to navigate. California has a few extra fees compared to other states. There's a $75 fee for filing and there's an annual $800 tax that every LLC has to pay. Once your LLC starts to make above $250,000, there's a sliding fee for that too. So there are no way around those fees. You're going to have to pay them if you go direct through the state or an online tool or through an attorney. The pros of using a state site are that there are no markups or upsells. The downside is that they're just not laid out well for making the registration process easy. In fact, in my opinion, it's way more confusing than it needs to be. One of the other downsides of the state site is that they do not help you keep your LLC compliant because the site lacks the ability to remind you of important updates and renewal reminders. I'll explain this further, but first, let's just talk about what an LLC actually is so that you understand how to maintain it properly. A lot of people think that there's this tax advantage to having an LLC over a sole proprietorship, but there's actually not. The advantage of an LLC is the name itself. It's going to help to limit your liability. So imagine your business and all the assets. This could be like your office, your business bank account. Now on the personal side, you might have a home, a vehicle, personal bank account. So what an LLC does is it's drawing this line of division between the two asset classes. And that division is something called the corporate veil. So if someone sues your business, they can try to come after your business assets, but the LLC and the corporate veil protect your personal assets, so they can't come after your personal home or bank account. That is why an LLC is so important. Earlier, I mentioned something called piercing the corporate veil. So what this legal jargon means is if your business is sued, the attorney suing your business is going to try to find these cracks in your LLC. And if they can find a crack, they can pierce the corporate veil. When this happens, they can come after your business and personal assets. And that is why it is so important to not only set up an LLC, but to maintain it so that there are no cracks. Now, I'd like to explain why the state site is not really good for maintaining your LLC, and I'm going to give you a few examples. A really good service for setting up your LLC is a company called InkFile, which is an online legal tool. You'll find a link in the description below that will take you to their site, and we really appreciate when you use that link because it helps to support this YouTube channel. The reason that I like InkFile is that they have packages that start at $0 plus the state fees. But included in that package is a really cool perk. And one of those perks is that you get a free registered agent service for a year. This is the first reason why I prefer this site over the state site. So now let's just dive into what a registered agent is. Every LLC is required to have a registered agent, and it's sometimes called a resident agent, statutory agent, or agent for service of process. The registered agent has to have a physical address in the state your LLC is set up, and this person is there to help you with important communication and documentation, such as franchise tax forms, notices of litigation, tax and legal correspondence, and required annual report forms. Basically, the registered agent helps keep your LLC in compliance. Now, if you go through the state website, they just are going to ask for the name and address of your registered agent without much context. If you go through InkFile, That service is free for the first year and then $119 annually after that. And you are free to change or drop the registered agent service at any time. Another reason I like InkFile is that the state website does not help you with the federal aspects of your business. Here's a really good example of this. So your LLC is set up through your state, but an EIN business tax number is set up through the IRS. And you can think of the EIN as a social security number used to identify your business for tax purposes. So when you get set up through the state website, they are not there to help you set up your EIN number. And if you've never done it before, it can be pretty confusing. In the middle tier package on InkFile, they will set up your EIN for you. I will also include a link in the description below if you want to set up your EIN yourself on the IRS website. I also want to highlight that they will set you up with a business bank account. This is really important to do from the beginning, and here's why. So not only does it just make your bookkeeping and accounting for your business way easier and cleaner, but you should also know that if you run your business through your personal checking account, you are commingling funds. And that's because you have your personal cash flow and then you have your business cash flow happening in the same account. This can create a crack in your LLC, which could lead to an attorney piercing the corporate veil and then being able to come after your business and personal assets. So InkFile takes these things into consideration where the state site just sets up your LLC. The nice thing with InkFile is that your dashboard helps you not only set up your LLC, but to maintain it and keep it compliant with annual reports and forms that need to be filed as well. On the screen here, you'll see a video that goes further into the dashboard and what it looks like after setting up your LLC. There will also be a video on how to pay yourself with an LLC. Again, thank you so much for using the links in the description below, and I'll catch you in the next video.